Okay, everyone please return back to your
It's
seats
just
so we
funny
can
because
continue on with
it's
our
funny because
agenda.
she's saying you're such a pretty couple right now.
Okay, returning back to our agenda with new business. So could I please have a chief sponsor of Bill 2026 S7 1023, please read.
So this is Bill 2026 S7 1023. Which Chief sponsors and hosts. Whereas the undergraduate student government seeks to improve physical resources for students, and whereas the USG seeks to educate students on the resources available to them, and whereas the Legislative Affairs Committee in coordination with the USG Executive Team has begun planning the USG Mental Town Hall, and whereas USG has the full cooperation and support of university partners and interests from community partners and legislators to participate, then let it be resolved that the undergraduate student government shall authorize the USG Mental Health Town Hall to be on Tuesday, March 31st from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the SCE Cardinal Room. Let it be further resolved that a total of $200 shall be allocated for light refreshments, snacks, meals, and costs for all USG Mental Health Town Hall. Let it be further resolved that any unspent funds shall be returned to the budget.
Okay, thank you. So does anyone have any questions about this bill? Keep in mind we will be voting on this one next week. President Nathan?
I will be executive ordering this bill. So.
We will be voting on it today, so if you have any questions, please speak now. Seeing no questions, we will now proceed with the voting. All those in favor of passing Bill 2026 S7 1023, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. Bill 2026 S7 1023 has passed. Moving on to our next bill, could I please have a chief sponsor of Bill 2026 S7 1024, please read.
I can read this bill. This is the USG voter registration bill. Whereas the undergraduate student government seeks to promote civic engagement and voter awareness among students, and whereas access to accurate and nonpartisan election information is crucial for student participation in local elections, and whereas tabling events are an effective way to distribute informational materials and engage with the student body, then let it be resolved that the UIC undergraduate student government will organize a tabling event on campus on March 16th with the Student Leadership and Civic Engagement Club organization for Party to the Polls, and on March 17th, which is local election day, to distribute voter registration pamphlets, refreshments, and incentives to help promote information on voter registration and resources. And let it be resolved that USG will allocate $100 to help provide for refreshments, cookies, and voter registration related incentives. And let it further be resolved that USG will ensure the accuracy and accessibility of election related materials for student voters.
Okay, thank you. So, does anyone have any questions about this bill? President Nathan?
I believe it's on March 16th and March 17th, so this would be a great opportunity to participate in. But just top of this bill, just because I remembered, voting here at UIC did start yesterday, or today, and will continue, I believe, until election day. So do spread that to your networks. I just wanted to say that, but I will also be executive ordering this bill.
Okay, the president has executive ordered this bill, so we will be voting on this tonight. So before we proceed with the voting, does anyone have any questions? Seeing none, we will proceed with the voting. All those in favor of passing Bill 2026 S7 1024, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. Bill 2026 S7 1024 has passed. Moving on to our next bill, could I please have a chief sponsor of Bill 2026 S7 1025, please read.
So this is the Campus Safety Town Hall, chief sponsors and co-sponsors as listed. Whereas the undergraduate student government strives to advocate for student needs while strengthening communication between the student body and university leadership, and whereas safety on and around campus continues to be a significant priority for UIC students, directly affecting their sense of security, academic success, and overall campus experience. And whereas members of the student community have expressed interest in more accessible opportunities to share concerns, ask questions, and learn about ongoing safety initiatives. And whereas structured conversations between students, their elected representatives, and university officials promote transparency, trust, and collaborative efforts towards improving campus safety. Therefore, let it be resolved that the USG will host a campus safety town hall during the spring semester, which is still to be determined, to create a forum for open dialogue between students and university leadership regarding safety-related topics. And let it be further resolved that the event will include invitations to relevant university partners and stakeholders, included but not limited to Vice Chancellor John Coronado, Dr. Nicole Sammartino, Chief Booker, and Professor Hammond. And let it be further resolved that USG will allocate $150 from its budget to support the planning and execution of the event. And let it be further resolved that any unspent funds allocated to the event will be returned to the USG.
Okay, thank you. So does anyone have any questions about this bill?
Yes.
Do we know, like, when will we know whether or not Professor Ham will be coming? Because that will maybe influence my attendance, possibly.
Well, firstly, you are pretty much required to be here because you're part of USG.
Oh.
But Officer Ham is something that we have to submit forward for, so I'm going to see to that as soon as it's passed. And then, ideally we'll have him there. I will send out a Slack message once we have the confirmation of that.
Okay, thank you.
President Nathan?
So two things. Because it is a town hall per Constitution bylaws, everyone is expected to be in attendance for that town hall. And then number two, the date that we're looking for the campus safety town hall is probably going to be, Zay, do you have it off the top of your mind?
Yes.
The 19th as of right now. So we're still confirming that date and time, but right now that's what it looks like it's gonna be. So do keep that in mind, and once we have the room finalized and our speakers at the event, we'll let you guys know, and Zay will send out a Slack message. But do understand that town halls, both the mental health town hall and campus safety town hall, and any town halls, they are expected and mandatory attendance for representatives for Constitution and bylaws. I will be executive ordering this the 20th.
Okay, so following that, does anyone have any other questions or comments before we proceed to voting? Seeing none, we will proceed with the voting. All those in favor of passing Bill 2026 S7 1025, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. Bill 2026 S7 1025 has passed. Moving on to our next bill, could I please have Chief Sponsor of Bill 2026 S7 1026 please read?
Yes, so this is Campus Safety Week. Chief sponsors and co-sponsors as listed. Whereas the undergraduate student government is committed to improving student safety, raising preparedness, and transparency across campus. And whereas the University of North Chicago is a computer-heavy institution, where many students travel alone, leave campus late, and may be unfamiliar with the level of safety tools and reporting procedures. And whereas increasing awareness and adoption of UIC Safe apps strengthens emergency communication, reporting confidence, and overall preparedness. And whereas collaboration with the UIC PD and the Office of Preparedness and Response strengthens transparency, reduces barriers to reporting, and builds trust between students and campus safety leadership. Therefore, let it be resolved that the undergraduate student government shall host a week initiative titled Campus Safety Week around the week of the 16th of March. And it will be further resolved that the one day shall consist of tabling events featuring representatives from the UICPD, providing students with direct engagement opportunities, distribution of brochures, and downloadable to UIC Safe. And it will be further resolved that another day shall consist of a tabling event featuring representatives from the Office of Preparedness and Response, providing students again direct engagement opportunities. And then let it be further resolved that another day shall consist of a CPR training event, which might happen at a later date, but the details will be enclosed in the forthcoming bill. And let it be further resolved that another day shall consist of the campus safety town hall, with details already enclosed in the previous bill. And then let it be further resolved that another day shall consist of a safe night out giveaway tabling event, which we already passed a few weeks prior.
Okay, thank you. So are there any questions about this bill? President Nathan?
I'll be executive ordering this bill. But the Campus Safety Week will be exciting because throughout the week, this is something that's become an annual tradition for USG for the past many years, actually. It's been probably one of our staple traditions for over the past 8 years, at least as far back as I can remember. But from conversations with Zaid, this week is currently looking like it's going to be a day of UIC-PD tabling, the next day with UIC Ready tabling, UIC Ready for context, and it's from the Office of Preparedness and Response, so they cover all of, like, they came, if you guys remember last semester, they gave out the lanyards that says UIC Ready, so those are those folks. We'll have the town hall one of those days, and then we'll also possibly have another event, like an active threat assessment is currently the plan if everything works out timeline-wise and availability-wise. But it's a very exciting tradition that we've had over the course of many years. I don't know if we fully did it 5 days last year, but I am very particularly excited because especially with everything happening, it's always a good reminder to think about campus safety, especially as more and more things happen and students get nervous on campus. So reminding them of resources on campus is of the utmost importance, which is more than a need ever than now to have a campus safety week. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So following that, are there any other questions or comments before we proceed with voting? Seeing none, we will proceed with voting. All those in favor of passing Bill 2026 S7 1026, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. Bill 2026 S7 1026 has passed. Moving on to our final piece of new business, could I please have a chief sponsor of Bill 2026 S7 5005 please read?
Yes, so this is USG Women's History Month social media campaign and hygiene product drive. The chief sponsors are the LAC committee and co-sponsors are President Nathan, Vice President Delay, and Chief of Staff Ashley. Whereas the undergraduate student government is committed to educating the student body on important legal and political history, and whereas the USG would like to demonstrate the importance and history of equality during Women's History Month, and whereas the USG would like to help support women's health efforts through the collection of hygiene and sanitary products, and whereas educating students on the legal and political history of women in the U.S. is vital to creating a more inclusive campus, let it be resolved that the undergraduate student government will host a social media campaign posting educational information about women's legal history once a week from March 9th through the 13th. Let it be resolved that the USG will host a women's hygiene donation drive from March 9th through March 20th, placing donation boxes near the WLRC, the Wellness Center, and a prominent location in SCE. Let it be further resolved that USG will reach out to relevant organizations on campus, such as the WLRC, to discuss any relevant and important information that should be included within the social media posts.
Okay, thank you. So are there any questions about this bill? President Nathan?
This event is next week, so we can speak more about it, but I will also be executive ordering this bill. But Anvi, do you want to go discuss a little bit more about the collaboration with this particular initiative?
Yeah, so in specific, how it's going to work with the hygiene drive is that there's going to be 3 box drop-off locations. So one is going to be at the Women's Resource Center, and then another one is going to be at SCE, so either near the Amazon location or somewhere near the inner circle. And then one is also going to be in collaboration with the Wellness Center. So that's kind of the plan for that. And with the Women's Leadership Resource Center, we're going to do posts, so like PSA announcements with famous women leaders of the month to kind of help highlight that, as well as the Women's Leadership Resource Center. And then in the month of April, we're looking at a collaboration with one of their events because April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, so we're looking to further that with them.
Okay, thank you. And given that this was also executive order, does anyone else have any questions or comments before we proceed to the voting? Seeing none, we will proceed to the voting. All those in favor of passing Bill 2026 S7 5005, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. Bill 2026 S7 5005 has passed. Moving on to our next order of business, which is items for discussion. I will now allow President Nathan to talk about this.
Items for discussion. So I believe today is just the USG Gala theme. So as you know, on Saturday, April 25th, will be the USG Gala. Every year we have a traditional theme for the particular event. And what was last year? Masquerade was last year. The year before, any of my other folks remember what was the year before?
It's like a garden, like a fairy garden.
Enchanted Garden almost. So like last year they had like the masquerade like mask and stuff, although no one wore it and stuff. So the event is like traditionally business professional. It's kind of like prom dress theme, so you can wear long dresses. You can wear. It is relatively cold because we're on the lake, so you want to dress warm. But like suits and stuff. But the theme is relatively just for the tables and stuff. Ashley, so eBoard kind of on Friday went through and got a list of kind of themes together. So Ashley has kind of a list and she's gonna read each one out. And we're gonna just kind of vote and figure out which themes and get some feedback from you all. I'd like to keep this quick. Hopefully this wraps up in the next couple of minutes, but I just want to vote and kind of figure out a theme that we want to proceed on and just get you all's feedback and perspectives on it as well. So Ashley, do you want to take over?
Okay. Okay, I'll just read them out, and if you think that this theme is good,
Well,
raise
read
your
all of them
hand.
out.
Okay.
Read all of them out, and then we'll do the voting.
But like, what if some of them are better, but like, you know, what if it's like second?
Well, that's why you get to read all of them out
Let me
first.
just read them out, and then raise your hand, and then when we have the ones that people like, then they can vote.
Just read all of them.
Okay. Great, okay, that's true. If you have other themes, you can raise your hand too. Great Gatsby, Tangled Night Lanterns, 90s Jazz Night, Hollywood Red Carpet, Under the Sea, Greek Agora, Tropical, and Under the Stars.
Tangled. The Gatsby's like
NASCAR.
20s.
Okay, raise hand.
Oh, you're not. Okay, I thought you were asking what it is.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
She's sending it right now.
You guys should be able to see it.
So question is, Gatsby like more like suits and blouse or like?
No, like it's just like table decorations and like cute little things.
Mama.
You still wear what like normal businesswoman stuff.
Yeah. What are you doing for
Okay, they're all set.
What are you doing for close of the Art Deco wall behind you that I carry around? Wait, you love the Great Gatsby too? Art Deco?
Well, right now, vote for one, I guess.
Oh, I thought you said Art Deco. I was like, oh, I hate. Yeah.
All right, for the sake of voting, go ahead and just like the one that you like the most. So everyone hop on that UICD General Assembly Slack.
No.
All UICD Assembly, go ahead and vote.
That would be really fun.
And get that done.
that would be really fun.
please. All right, and then Matoy, we can move on as everyone finishes up the voting as well.
Got you. Okay, so moving further down our agenda, we are now on to ex officio reports. So, do we have a report for the advisor?
Nope.
Okay, do we have the ex officio report for the student trustee?
Yes, happy week 8, everybody. Halfway through. Let's finish strong. So, I've been busy with a lot of system things, but last week I had lunch with the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Sharon. Last week we also had a special meeting of the Board of Trustees in which we approved the composition of the search committee for the new president of the University of Illinois system. Provost search has been moving along. I've been actively involved with those meetings. I attended the U of I State Lobby Day last week. I know a number of people in this room were there as well. That was a great opportunity, and I also heard feedback from our top level campus administrators. They were very pleased with the turnout and especially from UIC and USG this year. So good job to everybody who came. And then I'll end on a UIC note. Harold's Chicken, if you haven't already seen it, is officially had their grand opening. So this is huge. I'll remind you all once again that last year this was a big thing that student government and my office advocated for. And because of that advocacy, we were able to get Harold's Chicken on West Campus and here on East Campus in VSB. So that's fantastic, something to be proud of. There have been toys pulling up photos to make you hungry if you want to see. But that's all for me. I'll yield my time.
Okay, so does anyone have any immediate questions for the student trustee? Seeing none, the report will be filed. Moving on to our next order of business, which is now officer reports. So could I please have the report of the president?
All right, well, happy GBM number 7. Happy March, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week 8 of the semester. Meetings, you can take a look at kind of the report. Something that was exciting last week that I want to highlight is that Gensler, which is an architectural design firm, we did a walkthrough of the second floor of the library, and I was kind of explaining the vision for the second floor. So it does look like a renovation is on track, which is very exciting, which has been the advocacy of USG for more student spaces. The other exciting thing, as Quinn was mentioning, was the University of Illinois System Lobby Day on Wednesday. On behalf of the University of Illinois Chicago Senior Leadership Team, and then also just myself and Delai, we want to thank you for attending. So this was the very first year in all of USG's history that we had 15 USG members participate, which was amazing. That's from the students that were attended from the total of 30 students that went from UIC, which is a large number. Half of it was USG representation. So that deserves a round of applause. And in the grand scheme of things, for context, in the past years, it's been 1, 2, 5. But having 15 members this year is truly a great accomplishment. So to the 15 of you that got up well before 6 a.m. and spent your day on the bus all the way up until 8, 9 p.m., I do appreciate you coming out. It's definitely not easy to ride a bus for 3 hours or be in a nice bus. So hopefully you had fun, but very much I thank each of you for joining us and for doing some really important advocacy on a state senator and state representative aspect. The other cool thing is we had our men's basketball, that last home game last week. This week will be the last women's home games. I'm sure some of you might be going down to Arch Madness. DIC also hosted their home event in the library, which was great to see kind of students putting up their the pins of where they were from. I was looking at some of the maps, and it's kind of cool to see how students were pinning where they're from and the unique perspectives and such. We do have a number of events coming up this week, so do stay tuned. I sent that on the Slack, I think, either yesterday or very early this morning. Again, open door policy in case any of you guys want to meet with me. But if you guys are a health science major and you have classes on West Campus, could you raise your hand? Keel? Ashley? Any of you guys have had classes on West Campus? Sarah? Nina? Anyone else in this thing? Okay, I will be reaching out to you guys, so stay tuned. Just want to talk about West Campus stuff. The other thing is GBM's left. So today is March 2nd. We will have a GBM March 9th next week. We will have a GBM the following week, March 16th. Following week is spring break. The following week will be March 30th. The following week will be April 6th, which is the State of the Student. So no GBM, but the State of the Student. And then the following week is April 13th, which will be our last GBM, which is very sad. But I do want to guys get you kind of prepared. On April 13th, our guest speaker, we will have a guest speaker. It is the Vice Chancellor for Strategic Marketing and Communications. So that will be a business professional GBM, but even if we didn't have a guest speaker, it is still business professional. We will take the group picture. To the seniors who submitted the graphic request or the stool request form at the very beginning of this year, you'll receive your stool. So those were ordered last semester. So to like the 13 of you, I think, that filled out that form, you'll receive that, and then that will kind of be the last kind of get together of USG, and then we will have our formal meeting of USG. We'll see some less bills at GBM as well, but only about 4 or 5 more GBMs after this, so time is dwindling. So very excited, expect some more heavier bills next week and likely the week after. So we'll try to push everything for the rest of the semester, so things will be a little bit busier, so just prepare yourselves. But time is coming up, and also the average for points is looking about to be a 13, so it's continuing to grow, so you can always go to your directors if you ever want to get an update on the number of points that you have as well. So I'm consistently updating them now as events are happening in GBMs, and then I'll update your committee points at the very end of the week. So yeah, any questions?
I was just gonna ask, how the yacht, is Tom sending it to bring, postponed?
Correct.
Okay, so given that, the president's report will be filed. Now moving on, could I please have the report of the vice president?
Yes, absolutely. How are we doing, USG?
Amazing.
We all look good. So, okay, happy GBM 7 and happy March. So, I'm sure it has been a great meeting. I attended to an FSL event that is for Order for Legal Initiation. I can talk more next week. But it was a great event. I met with many great FSL leaders. And also I had my initiation. But yeah, what happened last week? I attended the grand opening of Harold's Chicken. We cut the ribbon. It was really nice. There was many students. We just gave away some free food. Overall, very positive reactions. Like we'd say, it was such a high demand in the past, and we did so many vacation for that, as well as win. So yeah, I'm hoping that it was a great celebration. Other than that, we had the last MVP men's basketball team home game. So we had our flame source pregame and the game. Trusty Vesta had sponsored some giveaway items, so we but we interacted with students, we gave away those items for USC Pride. We had some flame source meetings, and I attended some also student organization meetings, all about upcoming USG events, the one that I was invited. And also I talked with Akshat about Food Truck Day that is coming up. We are finalizing the dates. I also met with SAC last week, as you know, and we discussed some tailgate ideas for baseball. So that will be announced soon. We are working on that. But other than that, the announcement this weekend is a very big, not even weekend, starting Thursday is huge for USC Athletics, because for men's basketball team, the Arch Madness will happen. So all these games that we supported is for this tournament at the end of this week. So if you're interested in, they are emailing every time, I think, with the link. So yeah, you can definitely watch if you're interested in from your phone, or if you're going to send lists. But yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Okay, thank you. So does anyone have any questions for the vice president? Seeing none, the report will be filed. So moving on, could I please have the report of the treasurer?
Yeah, happy GBM 7 everyone. In terms of updates, I came to meet the athletes pre-game and the last home game, which is last week. For catering today, we have burgers, all the vegetarian options, salad, and cookies. If you have any questions, feel free to email.
Okay, thank you. So does anyone have any immediate questions for the treasurer? Seeing none, the report will be filed. So moving on, could I please have the report of the chief of staff?
Hello, I have my bi-weekly check-ins. I met with my deputy and I met with Nathan. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna file her report immediately. Okay, now moving on, could I please have the report of the chair of diversity and inclusion?
Hello. We had Home Away from Home event last week. Like Nathan said, it was a huge success. There was a lot of students there. We got a lot of traffic and a lot of people in different places, which is really nice to see. I'm planning the cultural fest with my community, and I also have upcoming chief of staff check-in with Ashley.
Okay, thank you. So are there any questions for the Chair of Diversity and Inclusion? Seeing none, the report will be filed. Moving on, could I please have the report of the Legislative Affairs Chair?
Hi everyone, welcome to meeting number 7. I'm working on initiatives for Women's History Month, mental health town hall, and then voter registration events. I know that you guys saw a lot of those bills, you also got past them. One more thing I wanted to add for mental health town hall, because here for that bill. The theme of the entire town hall is going to be more focused on AI and mental health. So if you guys are interested in being a part of that, the Q&A, definitely come out and prepare questions. But otherwise, I'm working on initiatives with my committee members, and I met with staff actively as well as meeting with as well as students. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me.
Okay, thank you. So are there any immediate questions for the Legislative Affairs Chair? Seeing none, the report will be filed. Moving on, could I please have the report of the Director of Public Affairs?
Hey everybody, happy week 8. So some initiative updates are the Connecting Student Leaders event and also our Instagram giveaways build. Later this week, we actually have public affairs tabling, so that will be on Thursday from 10 to 11 a.m. I also wanted to make another announcement. I'm missing 11 form responses for bios and also 8 headshots from you guys, so I've reached out to everyone who I'm missing. I need those by the end of the week, specifically the forms. I've messaged all of you guys. Try to get those in by Wednesday because we are starting our representative highlights, so if I don't get those in, I just won't be able to make a highlight for you, so that's all for me.
Okay, so does anyone have any questions for the Director of Public Affairs? Seeing none, the report will be filed. Moving on, could I please have the report of Campus Live?
Yes, so this week is our USG movie night. USG overwhelmingly voted for Interstellar, so we bought it, and that's what we'll show. It is on March 4th, this Wednesday, 5 to 9 p.m., so please do pop up to the event. Second, tomorrow we will be doing the first aid kits tabling once again. It will be from 11 to 12, so if you want a first aid kit, please do come by. And then next, I'm continuing to work on the basketball tournament. The rec did confirm our date of April 1st. The team sign-up forms will be going out later this week, so keep a lookout for that. And then my meetings are listed there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So does anyone have any questions for the Director of Campus Life? Seeing none, the report will be filed. Now, could I please have the report of the Director of Student Success?
So I finished planning the AI and Google Resource Awareness event, professional night, and bonfire night. I met with the Chief of Staff and the President, and yeah, if you guys have any questions? No?
Okay, thank you. So does anyone have any questions for the Director of Student Success? Seeing none, the report will be filed. And last but not least, could I please have the report of the Campus Safety Commission?
Yes, happy March. So as always, if you want to join the Campus Safety Commission, forms right there. Had my 2 Hallmark bills for campus safety passed today, so thank you guys very much for that. And thank you to my deputy Zaid for helping me throughout the logistics and whatnot. And then we also have our CPR training event coming up soon, which we'll talk about and whatnot. I attended every day, pretty massive day, amazing turnout. And I also attended the Flame Sports event for 5 seconds. But you know, I was still there. I got to see how everything was organized. It was amazing. I had my meetings last week as well. As always, please sign up for USC emergency alerts. And then there's the concentration for sure that you will learn more about the USC safe house. For your safety fact of the week, you can request unarmed contract security through the USC Police Department. If you have any questions, please contact them.
Okay, thank you. So does anyone have any immediate questions for our Campus Safety Commission? Seeing none, the report will be filed, which brings us to our next order of business, which is announcements. So does anyone have any announcements they'd like to share? Okay, seeing none, we will move further down our agenda, which is now adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn? Second. There's a second. All in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. Does anyone abstain? No. The ayes have it. The meeting has been adjourned at 8 o'clock p.m.
Oh my God.
Did you? I'm like 21. So I thought it was due last week. It's due tonight. Oh well, I'm not there. Okay. Well, I was gonna ask if I'm going. If you want to go with me.
With my living situation next year, I don't even know if I can.
Yeah.